Hey, back. Um, 50 Cent calls on Oprah and Tyler Perry to apologize to Monique. Now, let's get started in this video because this is something that has been an ongoing uh, conversation with Tyler Perry at some point and Monique. And so there has been, you know, allegations of Tyler Perry blackballing uh, Monique from Hollywood, as well as Oprah having something to do with it, because you know that Oprah and Tyler Perry are pretty good friends. And so Oprah's name is always coming up in something. She sounds very messy, you all. And you know, her and Gail, they messy females. They're messy. They don't like to be talked about when, you know, the tables are turned. They don't want anyone saying anything about them. They feel, but they can get their feelings hurt. So they can dish it out and behave a certain way. But then when it's time to come back on them, they have a problem with it. Because you recall the Snoop Dogg thing, and so they have a problem with it. But Gail can, you know, throw her hand up in the air and give high fives when the situation was with R. Kelly. But this isn't about, you know, Gail King per se, but it's just that's what they do. And so 50 Cent is, you know, he spoke to Tyler Perry and he calls on Tyler Perry to apologize to Monique. And he relayed that the filmmaker said he had no problem with the comedian actress. But some time ago, he had a problem with her. And I'll get into that. But he says he never told anyone to hire Monique, to not hire Monique. He said he's never told anyone not to hire Monique. And he says he's happy. He decided to work with her, you know, Monique. And he says, but I can't speak on Oprah. But he is sure, even though he can't speak on her. Now, listen, he says he can't speak on her, but he is sure Oprah is fine with Monique and has even brought her up for, things Monique has no idea about. He further states, I'm so happy for Mo right now. So obviously you can speak because you probably have been speaking about her with Oprah. Let's keep it real. We're not on the slow bus. Everybody's not in the back, but he probably has been speaking with Oprah about Monique because he says he can't speak, but then he goes on to say that Oprah is fine with Monique. Well, how would he know if he can't speak on her, right? And then her name was brought up in things that Monique has no idea about. So somebody's doing the talking, right? And so 50 Cent wants Monique to have a second chance in Hollywood. Thank you, 50 Cent. Give her another chance if that's what you want to do. And don't let anyone stand in your way. Because I think it's wrong for Black people to continue to try to cancel out and blackball other Black people. That's exactly what this seems to have led to. And I remember Steve Harvey telling Monique that, you know, some stuff that he said to her when she was saying she wasn't getting paid the money that she felt she deserved. And she was being lowballed in the industry. And he had something negative to me, in my opinion, to say to her instead of something, you know, inspiring and uplifting, because he doesn't want anyone to lowball him, Steve Harvey. He doesn't want no one lowballing him. So why should Monique be lowballed? I like Monique. I do. But that's not why I'm capping for her because I'm not. I'm just saying, you know, when it comes down to what is right, come on, people. You know, people have been blackballed. Sometimes people get blackballed on their job in everyday common situations where they deserve a promotion, but they get blackballed because somebody else is jealous of them and don't want to see them grow and, you know, and progress. And that's really true. So she has been blackballed, and she says she was blackballed. And so 50 Cent wants to give her another chance, but he also is looking for the people to apologize for blackballing her in the industry, to name a few, right? Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry. They are in cahoots together. And so 50 Cent went on his IG to share his thoughts about Monique and states, I'm sure Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry would not want to continue to allow their influence to damage at the real world wide career. And this has went on for way too long. And he's talking about Monique. And he goes on, he says he feels this is a good time for them to apologize, and he's going to put her back on. He ends his caption with GLG, Green Light Gang, I don't miss Branson Cognac. Now listen, you know, I had did a video some time ago, and Monique had made an appearance on the Turnt Out with T.S. Madison back in February. And during her interview, she talked about a conversation she had with Perry on the phone where the filmmaker allegedly apologized to her. But he didn't want anyone to know that he had apologized to her. Now, after that phone call, Perry declined meeting with Monique. When, a meeting was trying to be set up, but he declined to meet with her in person, except under two circumstances. And at that time, he wanted to meet with her without her husband, manager, and that she apologized to him. And I don't blame Monique. I wouldn't have met with him without my manager there, even though her manager is her husband. I wouldn't have did it. Number one, you don't. And Monique is right. Don't meet with him like that. Why do you need to be meeting in private and keeping it a secret on what you all talk about, and then try to use your influence to get her to apologize to you? Tyler Perry, that sounds weak to me. It really does, Tyler. It sounds weak to me that you done that and you were trying to do it. And Monique continued by breaking down why she believes the beef between her and Perry has persisted this long. And she goes on to say, oftentimes when it comes to a Black woman speaking up and speaking out, it goes unheard until she dies. Then once she dies, then we go back and say, well, she was right. And let's make a movie about it. She said at the time. And she talks about, she can give you some names: Eartha Kitt, Hazel Scott, and Fannie Lou Hamer. Remember Fannie Lou Hamer? You all remember Eartha Kitt, Hazel Scott, Hattie McDaniel. All of those women took a stand, and all of those women left her heartbroken, unhealthy, looking at a community saying, y'all know I'm right, but why won't anybody say anything? And that's a very profound statement there. That's very profound. Monique has said that her issues with Winfrey, Perry, and Lee Daniels stem from her refusal to spend time promoting Precious during the film's awards campaign. And her last role in film or television was in 2016. And they from what I read about and what I got, they more than likely participated in blackballing Monique, and they don't want to come out and say they did. And these is Black people doing Black people this way. And it's really sad when you feel like you need to do that and you're using Oprah Winfrey right along in this saga. And so 50 Cent, thank you for speaking out on this. Thank you for giving Monique another chance. Thank you for stepping up and calling on Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry to apologize, because it seems to have been going on for quite some time, because this goes all the way back. It really does. And they didn't want to pay her. And I don't believe they wanted to pay her, you know, to promote. And it costs money to promote things. It costs money and time and effort. And they did not want to pay her to do that. And it's really sad, because any other actors or actresses, they get paid for their time, their effort to show up, and all these things. And they didn't want to pay her. So 50 Cent, excuse me. Thank you for, promoting this. I mean, reaching out, calling on them to apologize. Let's bury the hatchet. Hey, let's move forward. You know, let's move forward. Let's keep it moving forward, and bury the hatchet and leave this woman alone, and stop speaking negative on her name or whatever they're out here doing to blackball her, so that she doesn't get parts in the industry. Stop with the nonsense. We as Black people need to do better and stop with the nonsense. Okay? Bye.